What is stress doing to our bodies? Are we even aware of what stress is doing to our bodies? What are some of the stereotypes that we have about stress, and what can we do about it? Welcome to The Healthy Dude. I'm Kurt Williams, and we're going to be tackling men's health issue in this podcast. And we are joined by some of the stuff that we talked about, that we asked questions right off the top. We're going to be unpacking that with Tommy Batemen and you have an interesting bio. I'm just going to read.
Go for it.
I'm just going to read a portion of it. You've been a police officer.
I have.
Calming tense situations. You've been a counselor helping inmates find their footing in jail, and now a leader on Sentara Health Plan's behavioral health team.
Yes, sir.
That is an interesting background in mental health.
Right. And I like to say, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plans. And I had no idea my life would take me this way, but here I am sitting here with you, and I'm really thankful for it. Thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, it seems like that you're really the guy we want to have on to talk about stress. I mean, we're dealing with, Stress Awareness Month.
Sure.
And so, I want to start with first is like, before we get in, how to respond, how to deal with it, the stereotypes that men have. I first want to start with, what's the range of stuff that stress can do to our bodies if it goes unchecked?
Right. So a common misconception, though I think that's going away more, is that stress is just an emotion. It's just something you feel, which nothing could be further from the truth. And people are knowing, and the body of research is growing, and we're pretty much certain that stress is bad for our health in multiple different ways. So think of this way. What doesn't stress affect is probably the better question. When you feel stress, you release stress hormones, such as cortisol and adrenaline even. And of course, that jacks up your heart rate, raises your blood pressure, lowers your immune system, very big strain on your heart, makes your brain foggier, act a little stupider, and a lot of problems. And that's just a start. Increases your cancer risk, diabetes, weight gain. What doesn't it affect? So it's not just an emotion. Even though I'm a counselor, I'm not a physician, but I can help people's physical health just by helping them with their anxiety, and so can you on your own.
So that's a pretty scary list.
Yes, it is.
And I would imagine if it goes any extended period of time of unchecked, I mean, all of those things you mentioned, I mean, some of those can have a very serious outcome.
Absolutely.
But I would also imagine that there are probably some people out there who aren't really aware that they have serious stress issues.
No. And that's a good point. So one thing I would like to stress is that anxiety and stress are normal emotions. They exist for a reason. They keep us alive, and many times they're good things. I think of Gavin de Becker's book, The Gift of Fear. A woman was assaulted, but she kind of wishes she listened to her anxiety in that moment and said, that would have kept me alive, or kept me from unharmed.
Yeah.
And that's why we have it. It keeps us alive. It keeps us safe. And there are times where we really need anxiety. Fine, right? However, when that keeps on going, now pulling from my experiences as a police officer, one of the things that was really a killer for a lot of police officers is complacency, right? That's the most dangerous thing that we can have as police officers. Otherwise, the job can be relatively safe. But once you're complacent, that's when you get in trouble.
Not listening to your gut.
Not listening to your gut. And so what does that do on the flip side? What's the opposite of complacency?
Is hyperactive, just over-responding to everything.
Absolutely everything. And so living in that chronically for 12 hours a day, every single day, with a few days off in the meantime. By the way, you're not sleeping too well because you're doing overnight shifts. There's a physical effect there. That just tears up a body. And how do you notice that? So guys, we like to tough it out, right? We think we're strong, but half the time I can be smiling at you like this. Here's one external thing that I'm really guilty of because I am stress incarnate. I'm looking at you, my brow's furrowed, I'm smiling. And people can feel it when I'm tense. Ask my wife and children, right?
So whether you think you're masking it,
people feel it.
Yeah.
People feel it. You can't get away with it. Other things, jitteriness, just looking around, looking at the exit, can't stop moving.
I was going to ask, what are some of the symptoms for people who are listening and thinking, wait a minute, oh, I do that. I mean, so what should people be looking out for if it's not on their radar? And so they think, well, I don't really have stress issues. So what are some of these symptoms?
So, for example, if you find yourself kind of dissociating. You're not really there anymore. You're there, but you're thinking about something and you're gone, right? You're not noticing that I'm talking right now to Kurt, that my butt's in this chair, that I'm present. You lose your presence. You're not present anymore.
That person might say, I'm multitasking.
Right. No, that's just such a false thing. But, if you're not there, if you're, of course, shaking, or if you're sweating, your brow's sweating, your pits are sweating, your palms are sweating, but it's not even warm in the room. You feel your heart. You can't catch your breath. You feel muscle tension. I can tell you when I'm stressed here, my back, my lower back, I feel it all up and down, right? Those are pretty good signs. And here's another thing. Listen to the people around you, right? If they're uncomfortable around you, if they're saying, hey, Tommy, you seem kind of stressed right now, pay attention to that. Listen to that. React to it. Yeah.
Is there, this is a rhetorical question,
Sure.
but is there, how bad is the stigma of acknowledging that you have stress issues?
So, and I'll get into this a little bit later about the mental causes of stress, but one of the things that people stress out about is being stressed to begin with. Like, I must never be stressed or anxious. Stressed and anxious people don't have control of themselves. They are, therefore, bad when they are stressed and anxious. And that's what causes the stigma. Especially for men, right? It may be more commonly acceptable, socially acceptable to say, well, women get more anxious than men. And the data does when it comes to anxiety disorders.
I'm glad you said that.
Sure.
And not me. Okay.
Well, yeah. I'm the guinea pig here. It's the first and last time on Healthy Dude. It's generally speaking, the data does bear out that women are more commonly diagnosed with anxiety disorders. What's the cause of that? Is it a symptom of the fairer sex? Maybe. Or do men talk about it? I think, in many ways, socially speaking, we don't talk about it.
No.
We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to take it. And supposed to, should, I need to take it. Those are all keywords that I want to get into later. But yeah, that's part of the stigma. Police officers are supposed to stay with it.
Well,
despite
and
how
I
they're
guess,
feeling.
Whether it's the perception that you got to project strength and I've got everything under control.
Right.
And I would imagine also that for some, it's fearing the potential impact on your career if you acknowledge, hey, I got to deal with some stress issues.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing: if you don't, it will impact your career, it will impact your social life. For example, I mentioned brain fogginess. How are you going to be showing up to your job properly when you're not dealing with you're not facing your anxiety issues? Moreover, socially, when you're stressed out, do people really want to be around you? No, they don't at all. It's a cascading effect, and then you don't get the promotion, or you don't perform well at your job, or you don't show up. And by the way, leaders in the corporate world, and just leaders in general, if you notice your people aren't showing up for their meetings, if they're not engaged in the meetings and just kind of checked out in the meeting, you might have a stress issue going on right there, and you need to talk to them about it.
So, I would imagine maybe this is more so an issue for men about what are the consequences, the ramifications if I show what I think is a weakness, and how do you deal with that?
I struggle with it too. I'm a therapist. I'm a counselor. I'm supposed to know how to do this. Again, I use that word "supposed to." I should be able to handle this, but again, you're supposed to talk about it. It's better to talk. What are the ramifications? You get help. I mean, there's in the real world ramification. You get help, and no man is an island. You can't be an island. You can't handle it all by yourself, even though you think to. I'm the king of not knowing my limits, and I've burnt myself out terribly. That.
Speaking of that, I mean, is that part of as we kind of move into what are some of the things that we can be proactive about? But you kind of mentioned about setting limits. Is part of the problem the inability to say no?
Oh, hands down, yeah, absolutely. People fear that their boss won't come back to them, or they won't think of them when it comes to promotion, or
because that's real.
Yes. Oh, it's 100% real.
Your boss comes to you and says, "Hey, there's this project I need you to do," and your plate is already full, but you're weighing. All right, I may be up for promotion, or whether it's job security, and so if I say no, what does that say to my boss?
Yeah,
so how do you navigate? Because clearly, since we're trying to keep our stress levels in check. But how do you navigate that? Maybe there are some times I've got to push through, But then there's sometimes where I've got to set some clear boundaries.
Absolutely. And I think boundaries, you nailed it with that when it comes to boundaries. First off, being able to dispassionately analyze, this is my workload. This is how fast I do it. Do you want quality? Do you want it fast, or do you want it cheap? I can only give you two of those, right?
Except you can't say that to your boss.
I say it to my boss. No, it's truly, you need to live in reality. And truly, even in the counseling room, I have people live in reality. What is true? Can a human being fly just by brain power? No. All right, let's work back from there. Can you do 120 hours of work a week, every single week? Maybe there might be times where you can do that, where you really, really need to, but those should be rare. You can't do that every single week. So yes, knowing what your natural limits are is a beginning of this. Absolutely.
So what are some of the key things as you're looking to, all right, I think I've kind of identified some of the things that you said, so maybe I do have some stress issues. Part of it is setting boundaries as far as when to say yes and when to say no. But I mean, what do you think are some of the key takeaways to cutting into stress issues?
So a few things. So first off, physical health, right? Cortisol and adrenaline. I mentioned that at the beginning of this talk. The counter to that is getting those endorphins going. One of the things that burns up cortisol in your system is working out, right? Exercise. Get in the gym, bro. Do that. That's huge.
And so whether that's, so some people it is easy to get into the gym, but for others, a run on the treadmill?
Anything that'll get burn up that cortisol, get your heart flowing. Not only does it help with the cortisol, which helps you get to sleep, because you're tired and the cortisol, keeps you jacked up. You get to sleep. When you sleep more, there's less cortisol removed. You don't need as much caffeine. Caffeine doesn't help with your stress at all. Alcohol consumption doesn't help with your stress because while it's a depressant in the beginning, it goes the opposite rebound effect the next day, right? Wow. And you're feeling more anxious.
You stepped on some big toes there.
Well, you know what?
Because I'm sure a lot of people's like, after a stressful day at work, many people think like, man, I just need a glass of wine or a couple of glasses of wine or something.
Guilty, right?
And you're saying that's in moderation, that's okay, but that should not be your safety net.
That should not be the way you de-stress necessarily because, again, to get technical, alcohol goes on certain receptors in your on your cells that depress you, meaning knock you down a little bit, not make you depressed, sad, but knock you down a bit. But the thing is, when the alcohol is no longer there, your cells aren't getting that signal, and boom, you're having that nervous, more jitteriness the next day. So there are physical things you can do, but there's also mental things that I think are really important as well.
Like what?
So one of the things that causes anxiety, again, all emotions, and this is a takeaway, I think, all emotions are downstream of your thinking, right? And
what does that mean?
That means every emotion that you experience, right, had a thought before it, a belief before it. So, for example, I must do well and win the approval of others or else I'm no good. Let's say I really flub up this podcast, right?
You killing it, man.
I know.
All right?
I know I am. Don't worry about that. I feel great.
But hypothetically speaking,
hypothetically
if it weren't going well,
and I'm flubbing it up, and my belief is I must do well and win the approval of Kurt or else I'm not that good. I said so many lies in that belief right there. I must do well. Well, geez, that really jacks up the pressure on me right now, right? And win your approval. Oh, he's not feeling it right now because I'm flubbing this up, or else I'm no good. And somehow I am able to judge my rank in the world. How do you measure a human being? Are you the best human being in the world or the worst human being? 8 billion people. I'm number 1,123,000. That's where how do you weigh a human being, right? And so don't judge yourself and don't say you must. The must is the nasty word, right? Must jacks it up and it's a lie. Where's it written in stone that you must perform well? Where's it written in stone that you must have the approval of others? Now, there's no evidence for that. But if you can argue with that internal voice and say, well, I strongly prefer to do well, that's true. And let's say if I don't do well or do well, does that make me good or bad person? I can't judge myself. You'd have to be a god to necessarily know everything about a person to properly weigh a human being. So from my human perspective, there's absolutely no idea I can do that.
We get so much worth, though, from how whether we are excelling at work, whether we are excelling with our 401k,
Yeah.
whether we are excelling in our home life, I'm super dad, I'm super
Sure.
husband. And so, I mean, there's a lot riding
There is.
on how we see ourselves and which causes us maybe to sometimes think, I've got to nail this.
Yeah. And that got to, that must, that need wraps up the anxiety too much. Now, if I say I strongly prefer,
Yeah.
that still gets you performing, right? But it doesn't bring you to that point where, it's life or death situation. And of course, we get a lot of enjoyment out of our lives from succeeding, but to judge your worthiness or worth as a person based on your performance, well, that's a dangerous thing. I like to think of Tiger Woods, who's in the news lately because he's in a relationship. He was very well known for being raised strictly high performance. You need to go, go, go. Well, what happened? And he was on top of the world, right? He was doing wonderful as long as he was doing well. His self-worth was tied to how he performed. The moment he started having back pain and not performing well, and then he got in trouble with his relationship, what happened to his golf career? What happened to everything went downhill for him because he was tying his self-worth to his performance. Happens to salespeople all the time. I
think it would happen to so many of us.
Absolutely. That the moment they have a bad sales month, they're crashing and burning. So that's one of the two mental things that I like to talk about. Another one is a demand that life must be the way I would like it to be. And the thing is, that ends in procrastination, that ends in avoidance, that ends in anxiety. But again, let's talk about reality. Is life ever going to be exactly the way we want it to be? No, it can't be.
So it sounds like you're saying we've really, which makes sense, we've really got to be mindful of how we talk to ourselves.
100%. Absolutely. Yes. And that's where a therapist can really help you. They can pull out those beliefs out of you and go, hey, is that true? Let's talk about that. Is it true that you must have $5,000 in your saving account at all times, or else the world's going to crash and burn, and you can't stand that? And that's another lie. We can stand a whole lot. Kurt, go back in your life and go, I remember all these hard times that I got through, and I stood it just fine. I stood it. I didn't like it, but I stood it. So saying in the future that I can't stand anything that's going to happen, that's a lie and setting yourself up for failure. Don't lie to yourself.
You mentioned that a therapist can help with these issues.
Sure.
So when do you know that you're kind of at that point? Sure. And what are some of the things you first try to see if you can do on your own?
Right. Well, there's no hard and fast rule to that. I think if you're dealing with stress and you don't know where to go, and you try the gym, or don't even try anything at first, but you're just stress and anxiety, you know this is a problem in your life, and you don't necessarily know where to go. Or you don't even know if stress and anxiety is your problem, but you know something's not right. Well, who's better to give you a tune-up and help properly diagnose you than a therapist and go, I see what's going on right now. You think you're angry. You're having anger issues, right? I'm not seeing anger. Of course, you're having anger outbursts, but what's really happening is you're stressed and anxious right now. Let's talk about that.
And I'm trying to find where there was something you wrote about that some people think if they can fix certain things that they believe are causing the stress.
Yes.
Then they've fixed the problem.
Right.
Why is that not true?
It's not true at all. It's not true at all. Okay. I like to use the example of football. All right. Two teams, a bunch of fans of both teams go into a football stadium. They experience the same event. One people leave happy, group of people leave sad. What's the difference? What they think about what happened on the field, right? Same thing. Abraham Lincoln, I think he said, it's nothing good or bad, but your thoughts that make it so when it comes to your happiness. It's Stoicism. Read Marcus Aurelius. It's a lot of fun. But yes, there are problems that we deal with. And no, fixing the practical problem, that is writing your paper, making money, fixing the car, right? That's not causing you stress. That's a practical problem that we need to solve. The emotional problem is caused by what we think about the practical problem.
Well, it's kind of like, oh, man, I got this boss, man. Once I get rid of this boss, then my stress levels are going to be much more manageable.
No, you still have the problematic thinking that led to your emotional problem to begin with, and it's just going to catch you up later. You can't control your circumstances completely. Okay, you have a bad boss now, but what if you're having trouble in your relationship with your spouse? and she's causing you a lot of problem at this point, right?
And it's not a matter of, honey, I'm sorry, I got to get rid of you. You are the source of my stress.
Right. No, and the thing is, she's not the source of your stress. Your boss isn't the source of your stress. Yes, they're doing things that you do not like, but when it comes down to how you address it inside, mentally and emotionally.
It's like, what's that expression? It's like life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond.
100%. And now I'm not saying that, I'm blaming the victim of bad things for their bad moods and and their circumstances. However, I am saying you have a lot of power and control. And a lot of people kind of balk at that and like, oh, you're kind of victim blaming me. You're blaming me for my problems when, hey, I've had a horrible childhood, And I go, I get that. I get all those things that happened to your past were terrible. And I understand that. However, you have the power right now to change it. And that's just, they found that when they finally buy it, it's very empowering.
And so is it like, because it seems like we all know people who are like super chill.
Right.
And it's like, man, you never stress over anything. Mm-hmm. And some people, it's like, they drop a paper clip on the floor. Oh my God, my work life is, So is there, some people seem naturally wired to.
And that is 100% true. Yeah, that there are people that your genetics do play a part. How you're wired does play a part on how intense you feel that emotion. But what is the initial trigger? What you're thinking about, what's happening. Now, some people can have the same anxious thought and they go, right? Or others go, but it's just kind of how you're wired. And sometimes that can't be helped.
All right. So if you're not wired to just kind of be in chill mode.
Uh-huh.
I know you said physical activity.
100%.
That's gym, treadmill. I know for me, when I take my dogs on a daily walk in the morning through the woods, it just seems like, and this may sound corny, but just, listening to the birds in the morning really kind of mellows me out.
And let me interject here, because between the exercise, you also touched grass. You went outside.
You got to be careful how you say that. For the old school. So Kurt's got a drug problem.
See, I was talking about an internet meme about going outside. I'm a millennial. Anyway,
touch grass. All right, I see. Yeah. See, I'm an old guy.
I understand.
So,
sorry, it's my generation.
So nature,
but more importantly, sunlight. And one of the things that we are theorized to cause a lot of behavioral health disorders among many populations is a lack of vitamin D, a lack of sunlight. We're further north in Virginia. Between the months, I think it's November to March, we do not get enough vitamin D from the sunlight to help with our mood and our immune systems. So getting outside is very, very, very important, and it depends on the person, right? So if you have a darker complexion, you actually need to be out in it longer.
Really?
Yes.
I got to be out more than you?
Yeah, you do.
Even though I have a head start?
I'm sorry.
Wow. It's so counterintuitive.
It is.
You would think that we would need less time in the sun.
No. It's just, but it's true. And in fact, among the African American community, do have higher rates of certain mental health disorders. And one of the theories is part of it being sunlight, of all things.
So supplements, does that?
Yes. That vitamin D supplements.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a doctor. Consult your doctor, but yes.
You play one on TV.
I do. Yeah. Very well.
All right. Physical. So gym time, treadmill. Get out and touch some grass.
Indeed.
What other key all right, be mindful of how you are talking to yourself. I mean, sometimes our own voice can be like the harshest and worst.
The worst. Yeah.
But we think we know what our boss is thinking, or what our spouse is thinking, or what our kids are thinking. But keep that in check.
Yeah, that's called magic mind reading.
Right?
You're lying to yourself if you think you can read people's minds. I'm a therapist, and I think I can know what people are thinking. Even us trained people don't know what people.
You are a behaviorist. That's what I'm not quite even sure what that. What is that? You study people's behavior.
I guess so.
A behaviorist.
Yes.
All right. So I'm trying to nail down 3 takeaways.
Yeah. Definitely that.
The physical part of it. Be very mindful of how you're talking to yourself. And expectations you're setting, and anything else that you want to drive home.
Get help when you need it. That's no man's an island, as I said earlier. Sometimes you can't do it yourself necessarily. You can theoretically, but why make it hard on yourself? Go get help. people shun away from, oh, I'm not going to take those pharmaceuticals because, I can do this myself. I can just think differently and I can work out and I would be a lot better, bro. I mean, but I'm like, hey,
And
gym
they
bros.
sound like that too.
They do. They do. And I'm like, hey, gym bros, why do you take creatine? Does it make your muscles grow faster? You're taking a shortcut there. Why are you taking creatine? Take the anxiety medication if you need it, because it gets you on the stage so that you can keep your brain, so that you can positively affect your life. Yeah, there's no shame in that. You see a therapist to help properly diagnose what's going on with you, because you may think I have an anger problem, but maybe not. The anger is just a symptom of what's actually going on with you.
Is there any value of asking people around you? Because sometimes you're like,
Yes.
be careful what you ask, because if you want people to be honest with you, but does that, if you're thinking, do I really have a stress problem? Is there value in
Yes.
asking your spouse or
My wife
close
is
to you?
My wife is my barometer when it comes to where I'm at. Because sometimes she said, Tommy, you're doing it again. I'm like, oh, I didn't know.
And then you go, excuse me, I am the therapist.
I'm the therapist.
And I really know what's going on.
She's a therapist too.
Oh, no!
Yeah, I know, I can't get away with it at all. And then my daughter knows some stuff, and so she calls me out. Yeah, no, but no, she's having a good person in your life that you can really bounce things off. No judgment, just a dispassionate view of, hey, I've noticed you're doing this again, or you're kind of going into this direction, because you shared with them how you feel about things, and they can kind of know you very well. And I notice you're not working out anymore. I notice you're eating a lot of Oreos a lot. What's going on? Hey, I can't keep Oreos in my pantry, because if I'm have a hard meeting, I'm running straight to the pantry.
I guess I hear people say that there is stress eating.
Oh yeah, 100%, because it makes you feel better. That stupid part of your brain, that habit center of your brain, says, I don't feel good. Do that thing that makes you feel good. Well, Oreos make me feel good. I eat Oreos, I feel a lot better. Yeah, habits are scary too.
And retail therapy.
That's some endorphins. But again, I mean, I could go into plenty different directions with this, but
for starters, make sure that there is some type of. I have a coworker, and when she does some kind of boxing cardio, she's like, man, that felt so good. Yeah. And so some type of physical activity. Be very mindful of how you're talking to yourself, and check with those around you to see, hey, maybe it is time for me to get some help.
Absolutely. And if you don't know how to get that help, I work for Sentara, right? What I recommend to folks is there's a number on the back of your ID card that says behavioral health, and then there's a number behind it. You get in touch with a case manager. A case manager can point you in the right direction, because they're clinicians themselves, so they can point you in the right direction. If you don't know where to go, call them first, because they're clinicians and they know where to go. Or you can talk to your primary care physician. Yeah. They know people. Get the help.
One last thing I do because it just popped in my head about maybe also the role that managing media intake that might play a role. And I know as a news person, it's having to be very careful how I say this, but I know that it sometimes. I mean, it's good to get you have to know what's going on in your world.
Oh, sure,
you have to. But I know whether it's after you've kind of got caught up on what's going on, to maybe leave it on as background noise, unless it's Channel 3, then it would be acceptable.
All the time.
But just monitoring that, or maybe social media, because that could become very toxic. And so, real quickly, how does that impact, or could that impact your managing stress?
Right. So have you ever woken up from a dream and your heart's thumping and all that? Well, that dream wasn't real. Parts of our brain cannot tell the difference between reality and what's only in your mind, right? So of course, yes, you watch the news and some horrible things are happening, and that's real, that's really happening out there, but where does it reside? In you, in your brain, and your brain can't tell, hey, I'm not really in a terrorist attack right now, I'm not really getting carjacked right now, but there's parts of your brain that can't necessarily tell the difference, and it makes you more alert, makes you more stressed, and makes you look over your shoulder a little bit more, which, hey, having some alertness about you is a good thing. However, when I live on a farm in the middle of Montpelier, right? There's certain threats that I have that don't exist elsewhere. So maybe consuming some international news isn't so good for me, right? And social media, comparison's the thief of joy. Don't judge yourself. We've already talked about this.
Tommy, thanks so much. I have enjoyed this, and I want to get the title right because there was also what is it,
Amoeba administrator.
Who gave you that title?
That is my boss, Tracy Izzard Everett, Vice President of Behavioral
Man,
Health.
you named her. Oh, under the bus.
That's
Good
okay.
stuff. But a leader with Sentara Health Plan's behavioral health team. Tommy, I really enjoyed
Thank
this.
you.
And hopefully we've really kind of maybe made some people's radar a little bit more sensitive about maybe a checklist that they need to evaluate to see how they can do a better job about managing their stress.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.
All right, hey, and we thank you for tuning in to The Healthy Dude. I'm Kurt Williams.